Yeah.
How are you?
We are fine, and how are you, sir?
I'm fine. Okay. Today, what we're going to do, we are going to represent algebraic equation. But these algebraic equations, we're going to get it under the weight problems. And last time, when we did weight problems, our main focus was to set up the equations. So now we know how to set up the equations because we did last time. And when we set up the equation last time, we're given the weight problems. After given the weight problem, we converted that into the equations. And for example, today, what we're going to do, just going to analyze and interpret the equation that describe a given situation. Just to recap for what we did last time, if we're having something like this, x, let's say it's 2x, x equals to 4. So we said that the equal sign means that two sides are equal. And if the two sides are equal, the equation is made of a variable, the x. This x is the variable, and 3 is the constant. So we say it's constant because it does not change. We know the 3 won't change to be another number. It will always remain a 3. So the reason why we say x is a variable is all because x, it represents an unknown value. An unknown value can change anytime. That's why we say is a variable. And the number before variable, which is 2. We refer to this number as coefficient. Coefficient, which is the number before the variables. And the equal sign, we know what it represents. It means that these two sides are equal. That's why we refer to them as an equal sign. And this one is also a number that represents to say whatever that we have at the left side is also equal to the right side. So today what we're going to do, we're going to analyze and interpret the equation that describes a given situation. Most of the given situations that we're going to look at here are real life situations. And if they're real life situations, we must be able to represent those real life situations mathematically. And the other thing that we must also do, we must also remember is number 2. We must be able to answer this question. What are algebraic weight equations? So the question is, what are algebraic weight equations? So we're just going to look at what are algebraic weight equations. And let's say that algebraic weight equation, algebraic weight problems are questions that requires translating sentences to equation, then solve. Those equations. So we know that mathematics is a language on its own. And if the mathematics is a language on its own, it's like any other language to say, if someone is in Zoom now and you cannot be able to hear, you will need someone that will be able to translate that Zoom sentence into straight again. So same applies to mathematics. You will need to translate an English sentence into a mathematical language. And in this case, our mathematical language, we refer to that as an equation. So that means for here, we can able to translate this into English. let's see whether we can translate 2x at 3 into is equals to 4 in English. What can we say when we translate that? We can say 2 multiply a number. That number will refer to the x again. Yes. 2 multiply a number, add 4 equal to, and add 3
equals to 4.
So that means we translated from mathematics language into English. Yes. So that's what we are referring to say. What are the algebraic word equations? Algebraic word equation, word problems are questions that require translating sentences to equation, then solving those equations. So, and the other thing, we need to be able to write arithmetic operations. What are the arithmetic operations? Is addition, subtraction, multiple, and division. So those are the arithmetic basic operations. So we know that most of the time when we operate in maths, we must operate using those 4 arithmetic operations, which are directed by God's rule. And the God's rule is the one that is going to give us the direction when we operate. So, and the other things that variables represent an unknown value. So that means when we set up the equation last time and now, we're all going to see the variables as an unknown value. And I'm going to give you an example. Let's take this one as an example. For example, e.g., we are writing this one as a question. When 2 is added to the product of 6 and certain number the result is 20. Then the question says, this is the sentence, which is the word problems, and now you must set up this sentence into equations, and after that you solve by what is the value of the number. What is the value of the number? Because the question says, when 2 is added, we know what is the addition mean. Addition means that will be plus, okay? Yes. It's added to the product. What does the product mean mathematically? It's a multiplication. And now let's set up equation when 2 added to the product of 6 and a certain number. That certain number we can refer to as a variable again. Yes. And the result we can take it as an equal sign. Yes. Because it gives us 20. So therefore we're going to say 2 added a product of 6x, it gives us 20. So therefore, if it gives us 20 like that, and the question says, what is the value of the number? And what is the number that we're referring to? The certain number, and the certain number there we said is x. Again. So therefore, how do we make x to remain along this side? How do we make x to remain along this side? What we need, we will find the inverse of 2. What is the inverse of 2? Opposite of 2 is negative 2. So the negative 2 add negative 2 both sides. So we are going to say 2 subtract 2 add 6x equals to 20 and subtract 2. So 2 subtract 2, right, is 0. And we're left with 6x. And this side we're left with 18. And Because we're not looking for 6x, we're looking for x alone, okay? So if we're looking for x alone, that means what we're going to do, we're going to say since we have 6x equals to 18, we're going to look at the inverse, the multiplicative inverse of 6. The multiplicative inverse of 6 is 1 over 6. Ne? We multiply by 1 over 6. Multiply by 1 over 6. And we said, if we have a fraction, we multiply the numerators with the numerators and the denominators with the denominators. Ne? 1 multiplied 6 is 6. And 6 divided by 6 is 1. Ne? And we're left with x. 18 multiply 1. 18 divided by 6. 18 divided by 6. 2. Okay, let's count. It's 6, 12, 18. That is the length. Yes, 6 goes to 18 3 times. Né? Okay, let me give you another one so that I want to see whether have you understood this or not. And this one is going to be easy. Né? Come on, yeah, I can't listen to you so that I can write properly. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah. Okay, let's take this one, number 2. Ne? This one is common. It's turbo. Turbo board. Let's say turbo board. 5 pins. Ne? 5 pins of frozen yogurt. And a tray of jam with it. From the food palace. For the total of 45 rand. If the price of a tray of jambole here's the equation. It's a question where Starbo bought 5 pins of frozen yogurt and a tray of jam mushroom from the food place for a total of 45 rand. So that means when you see the word total, which operation do you think of? When you say total, everything is done and total is 45. What do you think of equal to? Ne? Because equal to means that whatever that we did is equal to 45. So therefore now, that means it's about 5 pins of frozen yogurt and a tray of jam mushroom from the food place for a total of 45 rand. If the price of a tray of jam mushroom is 25 rand, what is the price of a pint of frozen yogurt? What is the price of the pint of frozen yogurt? I get bought 5 of them. And we don't know what is the price of them, okay? So then if we don't know what is the price of pint yogurt, what is it? That means we're going to say, let X represent 5 pints of yogurt. Ne? So we're going to say let X. When we start, we're going to say let X be pints. Ne? And if the price says price of the pins. So we say that when we see the word pins, we're going to put what? X. And how many pins did he buy?
5.
So therefore, we're going to say 5x. And what else did he Tabo buy? Jumbo. Now, what was the price of Jumbo?
25.
Then it's 25 rand. Eh? Then we put 25 here. And all in all, what he bought, how much did he it cost him?
45.
Then we put 45 aside. So that means whatever that he spent is equals to 45. So then now, what we're going to do, we are going to solve for x to find how much was pins of yoga. Okay?
Yes.
So therefore, we are going to find the additive inverse of 25. What is the additive inverse of 25? Negative 25. So we're going to say 5x add 25 subtract 25. What do we do on the right side? Also do on the left side. So that means this side we're going to say 45 subtract 25. So therefore this one will get 0. So which is 5x equals to 45 subtract 25. 45 subtract 25. 15. 20. Because we're looking for x, we must find the multiplicative inverse of 5. What would be the multiplicative inverse of 5? 85. Yeah, what was the multiplicative inverse of 6? 1 over 6. That means multiplicative inverse of 5 equals
1 over 5.
So we're going to say 1 over 5 multiplied by 5x equals to 20
Multiplied by 1 over 5.
Okay, 1 multiplied by 5?
5.
5 divided by 5?
1.
That means we're going to put x, right?
Yes.
So 20 multiplied 1?
20.
Divide by 5? 4. Yes. That means
X equals to 4.
that means the piece of yogurt costs how much?
4.
It costs 4 rands. It costs 4 rands.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but just let me. Yeah, the last one. The last one. Yes. Okay, yeah, the last one is let's say your homework. Yeah, but this one I want you to do it as a translate. The last one. Number 3. Okay, the last one then. Okay, the number 3 says that add honey bee pot. Honey bee pot and bark, rice for honey is 250 per liter. With the minimum inches of 20 liters. Pay 80 rands for some honey by how many liters did milk purchase? do this one. And this one is the last one. Yeah, this one is the last one. You just find out how many liters did Mary exceed the minimum purchase. I think the minimum purchase is how much? What is the minimum purchase? 20 liters. So if Mary paid 80 rand, how many liters did Mary purchase? And it exceeded the minimum with how much? Yes, Mary what? Paid 80 rand. So the question is, how many 250 are there in 80 rand? How many 250 are there in 80 rand? How many 80 rand? 250 are there in 80 rand? 16. Okay, in 10, how many? Okay, in 10 rands. 32. So therefore, that means we're going to start by saying that, okay, 80 rand all divided by 250 equals to how many liters? 32 liters. 32 liters. So therefore, we know the minimum liters that the purchase requires is 20. Where's 20? This one. We are going to say 32 subtract 20 equals to 12. So therefore, it may exceeded the minimum purchase with 12 liters. So therefore, we say that Mary exceeded the minimum purchase with 12 rand. Okay, thank you very much. We're done for the today.
Yes.